Okay. There's something magical that I've taken for granted. Oh, I need my glasses. He's got them. Okay. Voila. Okay. There's something magical that I've taken for granted. It can be different sizes, weights, plain or decorative. You can take it anywhere, and it can take you anywhere with barely moving a muscle. This magical something is a book. As of right now, long or short, a story can be read on many different devices, other than just with a hard copy. Lightweight reader devices can store many books at a time and adjust the size of the font, how to advance to the next page, check your device's library, and let you shop for the next book. Some people use their cell phone to read and like the option to stash it away in a pocket or purse in a moment's notice. With a pair of earbuds, this can also give the reader an ability for an audiobook. Through the advancing of technology at such a speed, will story capsules be available to let us swallow a classic, a new arrival, then sit with eyes closed and let our brain experience the story? If this occurred, would our imaginations become stagnant? Would the dwindling bookstores and lending libraries eventually become extinct as we know them and morph into ingestible story pharmacies? At the worst, could publishing of any kind cease to exist? I would miss the hoarding, the lending, the borrowing, and of course, the discussing. I'd miss wandering around the bookstore and poring over the cover and what's written in the jacket. It breaks my heart to imagine libraries that are sacred spaces now slowly disappearing. When I receive a message that a book I requested is being held at our library, I usually pick it up the very same day. I've never belonged to a book club, but would that go by the wayside as well? Maybe virtuality is just not my cup of tea. Like a well-brewed, aromatic cup of Earl Grey tea, I do enjoy handling a page-marking hard copy. Of course, I keep a pair of reading glasses in almost every room of the house. Let's see. This is one I wrote in October of 1995 after my mother passed. Where are you? I can't sleep. I close my eyes and try to communicate with you in some ethereal form. Our connection surely isn't broken after 43 years in the making. Then your face appears with a glowing smile that lights up my heart. You are not only a mother, but my longtime friend. You say nothing as I try to will you to share something, anything. I silently plead with you to speak, sing, laugh, but you continue to only share an elated grin. Has this happened to anyone? To Dad? To my brothers? In time, I find comfort in our past connections. You would call me so that I'd know about a television show or a joke so hilarious that you could barely stop laughing long enough to tell it. Other times, you'd call to plead with me to stop what I was doing, go look at a sunset or a moon so brilliant that without a goodbye, you'd hang up, only to call me back immediately to say that you purchased Sting's new CD. I would call you to help me with a crossword clue in the Sunday Tribune magazine, which is not around anymore. We'd end up discussing the full-page color photo on the opposite page. Fast forward to October 11th, 2020. Now I want to call you and tell you about Andrea Bocelli, about a sunrise I saw in the early morning while out with the dog, about using some antique plates of yours while guests were here, to tell you how I tried my best with Dad, who was practically lost without you. To tell you that I went back to school to share with you how daughters and granddaughters are making their way in the world. One is named Frances after you, and that I sometimes refer to her as La Petite Françoise. I want to tell you about years ago in June when we spread both yours and Dad's ashes in a fast-flowing river and also in a clearing filled with brightly lit, tall but delicate green firs in Turkey Run State Park, and that you and Dad went to. I will find later that you live on in so many other ways. These ways comfort me and sometimes haunt me. I hear lyrics to a vintage song, a Beatles verse, or a church hymn, and I tear up. But deep down, I am so happy that there is still a connection to your spirit. It's the inexplicable sense of your being, as was your vision that shined one night over 25 years ago. Love, Judy. This is called Straight Down Theory. Decades ago, when the heavens threatened for a well-needed downpour, Luna, our yellow Labrador, and I used to look out the large east window of our front room and watch the sky become different shades of gray backgrounds and slow-moving smears of white clouds. Neither one of us were afraid of lightning or thunder. We kept each other company as the rain was determined to put on a sound and light show. When these storms rolled in with several white and gray tufts, they would tease us by lasting 15 minutes or continue with violent lightning for much longer. We would go into the garage and stand clear of its large open door, avoiding any parked cars. Luna never cringed or whined during the loud noises. She laid down on the empty garage floor while I stood. With a larger view of the sky from our perspective, once the rain let up, so did the deafening strikes. As a reward, a little at a time, the sky ushered out the noise and rain, then total quiet set in. Soon the sun returned and displayed a multicolored view of grayish hot pink with streaks of white and pale turquoise. Never during these downpours did I ever worry about our home being hit or damaged by lightning, nor did Luna try to hide behind me or whine to go back into the house. We stayed for the second show of the returning sun, which painted watercolor smears and left its mark over and over as it slowly moved even further to the southeast.